You got it. Tech 9, let's go.
KCMO, roll.
I'm representing
KCMO, roll.
Yeah.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight. This is the Rule of Three. As you can see, there's 4 of us now. We are working on the title and whatnot. But before we go too far in tonight's show, though, I have something over on the other side to bring up. We lost somebody this past Friday that some of us had some interaction with, some of us didn't. But I think that I wanted to take a moment from Khaos Central to the family of Richard M. Simpson III, better known as Oliver Franklin Doom, Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom, or the Admiral of Doom. And we're going to go, I'm going to get this up here really quick, and we'll share it and take a moment to remember him by. So let me get this up right now, guys. Not sure if they don't have audio. There it is. Could be the connection at the funeral home, though.
Thank you for giving us the strength, and together in this place, let the light of your love illuminate in our lives and shine through this service. May the memories that we have share with each other, and may your message show love and comfort to the family today. Bring hope to their troubled hearts today. Bring comfort to them in the face of death. Bring life. To the sorrows, bring joy and celebration. Challenge them in their faith as they turn to you and the word in each other. We thank you for Richard, who was a son, who was a brother, a husband, a father. Open us to the healing presence of love today. Amen. We are glad you're here to celebrate the life of Richard. He was born October 19th, 1967 in Beech Grove. We welcome and are enjoying the celebration of Richard today. Richard served in the U.S. Navy in active duty aboard the SS Theodore Roosevelt, married to Paula on October 10th, 2009, with one brother, Aaron Simpson, and a son, is it Roika? Roy, and a father, and a mother-in-law, Pat and Patrick Trefon. And his mother. His favorite things were his cats that he loved to be around. Milo, Peyton, and Manny. The song says, we don't live forever. And we listen to those words. And so I picked up a scripture from that. From scripture it says, everything is a season, every time under the sun and heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, and a time to be happy. A time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones. There's a time for everything. Queen's, the song that you listen to, Who Wants to Live Forever, was really kind of something was important to me to think about. But I'd like to share some message from the family first. Pat, did you have a message that you'd like to share?
First of all, thank you for coming out tonight in the weather and thank you for joining us online. My name is Pat Treathen. I have the honor of being the father of Paula Simpson. Richard, I want to thank you for your service in the Navy. I know how proud you were of that, and we are eternally grateful for your service of 7 years and your commitment to our country. Let me see, I want to thank you again for reminding us, how do we laugh at ourselves? Richard did a lot of that. Whether we are hitting our head on a fender 3 times. Yeah. He told me how bright I was the 3rd time I hit my head on that fender. He laughed when I torched my facial hair with lighter fluid. He really, really enjoyed that. And wouldn't let me forget it. And there were times he knew why he was laughing at me, but I had no clue. And he would enjoy it more the longer it took me to figure out his humor. And I think that was the joy that Richard brought, because sometimes we thought his humor was stupid, but he really had a meaning to it. And that meaning, when it sunk in, you went, he's right. He had left the party, or the party had broken up by then, but your memory of him lasted after he was gone. And I think that is what we're doing today. Your perspective was unique, hilarious, and a welcome respite in a world that is probably taking itself way too serious. And I will always remember you for that. So thank you for bringing a smile to the faces of the people you knew, and more importantly, to the people who had no idea who they were. I'm not going to waste your time about the story about the fireworks, but hey, it was one of his top. I think everyone here knows about the box of fireworks in the bonfire. Yeah, throwing a whole box of fireworks in a bonfire. I was sitting there pooping my pants. Richard was laughing his ass off the whole time. These things were going all over. At us, the house. But finally, Richard, I want to thank you, not for the end of the list, but at the end of the list that I have time to talk about, but something that everyone in this room can appreciate. I want to thank you for bringing happiness and love to my daughter. Now, anyone who spent more than a few minutes with Paula and Richard, maybe 2 minutes, knew that opinions were not kept to themselves. They were very strong-willed, let's put it that way, and they expressed it. But within minutes of that, we saw the reconciliation. And we saw the love between those two. And seeing love between you and my daughter was anything. It was everything that a father and a...
All right, guys. I'm not going to show all of it tonight. You can go over to History with R&R. Just type it in to the search bar, YouTube up top, History with R&R. It was a channel that he did with Rambling Canuck, if you know him. Richard Simpson was 54 years old, and I just want to make sure that we all understand that this time that we're here, the time that the 4 of us get to spend together, that I enjoy every week, is sometimes, well, not sometimes, it's never for certain. life happens, and I wanted to share that with you guys and take a moment. If you're in the chat, I will understand completely if you go over there. I'm not worried about numbers tonight. Whatever the numbers are, they are. We're going to continue doing what we do because that's how he did things. This guy has, from what I've understood, radio programming that he does and his talks and stuff that he did on YouTube. He has it lined up and done till April. So we're going to hear this guy for many months after his death, which is amazing. This guy had his shit together, for lack of a better word. So also in honor to him, we're going to continue with the show. If you haven't been here before, we thank you very much for being here. We have 3 topics today. We might be changing this up because we now have a new member of the Khaos Central team sitting or right next to me right here. It's Geiskar. You've seen him before. He's not new, but he is officially confirmed to be now a part of the Khaos Central family. We're grateful to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Anzo and Danny, as always. Thank you for being here. So let's go around first and tell everybody where you can be found and what you're up to. Let's start. Let's go down to Anzo and we'll go around this time. And then at the end, we'll go around the other way. So Anzo, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, please.
What's up, guys? You know the channel, Biggaford Entertainment, and we always start with the best. You guys done know that, right? Just make sure to check out the OOC later on tonight. And then what we do during the week. I won't go through all of that now. I'll go through it at the end. But I do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving. Peace. Thanks, Chris.
Not a problem. Danny, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
I am Danny, aka Comet Chat. 1/4 of this team now, and I wasn't able to do my show on Monday, but I will reschedule it to Friday. So Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in for the Khaos Conversation. It will be the 4 of us plus 2 more. Terrence and Mad's Mama Bear. I think she got a new name now. Mad's Mama Doll, I think it is now. We'll be doing our 5 favorite Star Wars characters. So please tune in for that. Check us out.
And we all know who Danny's number 1 is.
It ain't gonna change, bro. Ain't gonna change. It's like death and taxes, brother. You gotta pay. Thanks again, Chris.
Indeed. All right. Geiskar, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
I'm Geiskar from the Basco Scenario. You can tune into my channel for some cool game clips. I haven't been active lately because I've been busy with other things, but I'll be back on it. You can catch me on the Khaos Central shows. You can catch me on Sundays with Biggaford Entertainment for the WandaVision Roundtable, Mondays on the Chaotic Conversation. But like Danny said, it was moved to Friday, so you can catch me there. And also on Tuesdays, 9 p.m., the Khaos List. And Wednesdays, the rule of 3, 4, whatever we're going to end up naming it. It's going to be interesting what we're going to come up with. I'm excited. And thank you guys for adopting me on that. And also, 9 p.m., back, Biggaford Entertainment, OOC with my homeboys.
Great, Elijah.
Y'all moving to 9 now? I can catch it at 9. 10 is close to my bedtime.
It's okay. They'll let you out of the retirement home sometime.
No, OOC is still at 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe
it's 10 your time.
If it helps you, Danny, maybe we can switch to 9. I don't know. I'll see.
9 Central.
But if I do that,
man, I stayed up 2 nights ago to 4 o'clock watching a TV show. I'll never do that shit again. I said 4 o'clock watching The Rookie.
This is the first.
Oh, that's the cop show?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think of that show?
And I missed it.
Any good?
What I think of it, I think it's fire.
Really?
Is it still comedy or is it moved kind of drama?
It ain't no comedy. It is all straight up.
Like the first 4 or 5 episodes, it was like mostly comedy that I saw.
The Rookie?
Yeah.
It's with the guy from
he's like 41 years old, was a contractor his whole life, and then he decided to be an LAPD cop. No, it ain't no comedy. I don't know what you was watching.
Well, not LAPD. I'm just saying that when I first saw it.
I know which ones you're gonna get confused with.
Maybe
there's a comedy. There's one that's The Rookie that's a comedy, and the other one's like real.
I think what they did is they flipped the script on the whole thing and rebranded it. You remember Blackish there for a minute? It was full comedy, and then like for like half a season, it went really
Really well.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah,
It went
yeah,
woke
man.
big time.
The last couple of episodes I watched of Blackish, when him and his wife were having issues and shit, I was like, yo, this show's taking a change.
yeah. Well, they've changed it back now, and I don't know why they did it. And it's like, don't change something. I mean, I guess yes, change it if it makes it better, but that did not make the Blackish better. I like the lightheartedness, the funny.
I think they
references
did
and
it
stuff,
to
so.
show that not everything is perfect, you know. I don't
Maybe,
think
but, I mean,
They're back together now, though.
yeah.
yeah. Let's go
Now
here.
they got
All right, guys.
one with the daughter. It's called Grownish, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then mixed dish.
Mixes, yeah.
Now we just need a white-ish.
No,
Yeah,
that's the Goldbergs. The Goldbergs handles the Jewish and white plenty.
Oy vey.
Yeah. And then they
I
have
actually like the Goldbergs though.
fresh
Damn, you
off the
see,
boat.
Elihu say the four horsemen. War is me. Phantom is Guy Scar. Death is Chris, and Pestilence is Nzo. Damn.
What the hell?
Pestilence. No.
Elihu, you better hope that you don't come on the chaos list until you forget you said
I'm
that.
actually cool with war, so good job, Elihu.
I'd probably
I'm
be
okay with
that.
that. But
Danny, you should be famine. You're always eating, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Shit.
all right, guys. Let's go first topic. Can you guys hear it? Guys hear it? Too loud?
very
So
loud.
Okay, cool. I'll pull it down.
What? Huh?
Like Cowboys or some shit.
No, I'll turn it down. All right. Matt Damon is going to be in Love and Thunder. Do you think it will benefit the franchise or not? Put that in the chat. And who would like to go first?
I can go.
All right. Oh, I got to make sure this is back to 3 minutes. Okay. All right. Time starts now.
Matt Damon is an excellent actor. I don't know how he would fit into the comic book realm because we used to see him like the Bourne Identity is his most recognizable character. He's a badass in there. I've also compared who would be who's the most proficient killer. Him, the Hitman, the one with Keanu Reeves, and the one with Denzel Washington. I love to see those four go at it. So, but I don't know how that would translate into him being a badass or not into the comic book world. Like I know him and Ben Affleck are really good friends, and of course we know Ben is killing as Batman. So I don't know what his character would be. I don't know if I could see him in the mythical Thor realm being a god or Asgardian or whatever the case may be. But I'm sure his name alone, name recognition, will bring some value to that movie. I just hope that whatever character they get, that he can definitely play it. Like I said, he's versatile. But when you think of a character in MCU, and especially a Thor movie, Matt Damon is not one of the names that comes to mind. But two actors whose names didn't come to mind. Heath Ledger as the Joker, that didn't come to mind. And also Ben Affleck as Batman. When we first heard it, we were like, I don't know. So I'm going to give him that same respect. When I first hear the name, I'm like, I don't know. But I'm sure if they get a character, he sink his teeth into it, he does the research, that he'll kill it. Because he is definitely a very good actor. He's one of my favorite actors. He's probably in my top 15. Maybe top 10, depending on what day it is, but definitely my top 15 male actors. So I think he can pull it off. They give him the right material. So I think he's gonna definitely take whatever part they give him. If it's a serious part, I think he would do better, in my opinion, with a more serious, maybe bad guy or serious good guy versus some kind of comedian or something crazy like that. I say yes, he'll make it. Kevin Feige usually has been pretty good on picking characters for his movies, giving them the green light. So if Matt Damon wants to be a part of it, I'm sure Kevin Feige is going to get something that will accentuate his skill set and we'll probably be happy. That's it.
All right. Okay. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
There you go. Go ahead.
Fight. I'll get you guys a pull cue, and you guys can fight to the death. And
I'd win. I used to beat guys stuff a lot as a kid, so.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I was waiting for it. All right. Geiscar, you can go next then.
Well, obviously, it'll be interesting since he was already in Thor Ragnarok as one of the actors in the little play, right? When Loki was pretending to be, I forgot his name, the father.
Odin.
So it'll be interesting how they're gonna write him up. Or will it be another cameo? Is he gonna have action, or is he just an actor with, he's really an actor, just like Steven Seagal was just a cook, right? So would it help? Like Danny says, Kevin Feige has to have a plan with it in order to make it help. His name itself has recognition. But for me, I don't know. Matt Damon as a Marvel superhero I can't really, relate to it. But then again, I was wrong about Ben Affleck and Batman, right? To the point that I was convinced that I was wrong. Right, Anzo? Yep. But it'll be interesting because they have a lot of actors coming in this movie, right? The Guardians are in this movie. I don't know if it's all the Guardians. You have Nebula that's in it as well. That's going to be in it. It's already star-studded, packed already, and I don't know if it really make a difference or not. Will it definitely hurt it? I don't think so. But how they're going to integrate this actor from Ragnarok in order to make it more interesting, I don't know. Maybe it'll tie in with a little bit with Loki's show. Maybe somehow he'll be on that, and they'll try and make sense why he's in this movie. But I don't know. Honestly, I'm torn if it's gonna. I don't think it'll hurt it. I think it, if anything, make it better, but hurt it no, because of who he is. Because I remember seeing him in Ragnarok, and I'm like, is that him? And I actually had to I stopped it and paused it and look. I'm like, fuck, it is him. Because in that scene, he looks kind of chubby and stuff and so pale. Of course, there's makeup, but still, I wasn't sure if it was him. Because, yeah, I have nothing else to add, actually. I think it won't hurt it. It won't hurt it. We'll see what happens. Like Danny said. But the thing that I liked him, his best role is definitely the Bournes. As an action superhero type, if they can give him something that he's good like that in Marvel, then they'll hit it off.
The only character I can see him playing is like Nova. I think he'd make a good Nova.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird if they make him play Nova right when he's an Asgardian, when Nova was an Asgardian.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't know if the Asgardian thing gonna flip. I can see him as maybe Nova or maybe a Green Lantern. I'm not sure about the Asgardian.
Interesting. All right, Anzo, 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now.
Okay, so first off, Matt Damon was already in Ragnarok, so they're not going to cast him as a different character. He's going to be the same character, which gives me pause to think that he is going to be just another part of comic relief, which I think is going to be Thor's main objective in this movie as well, because it's Taika Waititi. He did Thor Ragnarok, and the comedy in that movie was just way too much. This is the one thing that worries me about this movie. I'm not anxious to see it. I'm not like, yay, Thor, Love and Thunder. No, I'm just like, it's a Marvel property. When it comes out, I'll see it. I'll probably look at the trailers and I'm like, oh, yeah, trailers look good. Movie's going to look good, but I know what to expect because of his style of directing and things he likes to do in movies. So at this point in time, I don't think Matt Damon's going to ruin the movie or make it better. I think he'll have just another small little cameo like he did in Thor Ragnarok. So I don't think him being in the movie is going to affect anything about that movie. Just me in general, just the fact that it's being done by the same director that did Thor Ragnarok, that's what gives me the biggest issues about this movie. I really and truly could care less about it. There's more Marvel movies coming out that I'm more excited to see, and this one is probably on the bottom of my list. Um, as you all know, I didn't like Thor Ragnarok. I just the first half of the movie, man, I was like, yo, I turned to my son and I said, yo, this has to be one of the best Marvel movies they ever made. And then he got to the planet, and when the movie was done, I said, this has to be one of the worst Marvel movies ever made. Obviously it's not, but in my opinion, it's just didn't do it for me. And the fact that I gotta see him do the next one is giving me pause. It's like, am I gonna see the same old things that I seen? Hulk's not gonna be in it, so Hulk's not gonna be the comic relief. Jane is gonna be Thor, so the only other thing I can see is that Chris Hemsworth is going to be the comic relief of this movie. And if that happens, it just goes with what happened in Thor Ragnarok, what happened in Endgame, and what happened in Infinity Wars. So for me, I am definitely not looking forward to this movie. Matt Damon being in it, I could care less about that. So whether he's in it, I don't think he's going to make it worse or any better. I just not interested.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of with Hanzo on this. I don't see him being anything but what he was, and we're not really sure what he was. Obviously, he's probably an Asgardian, unless Loki somehow grabbed him. I guess, again, I don't see it being anything but comedy relief, so maybe they even throw a bit of wall breaking into it and just say that Loki brought Matt Damon to Asgard even. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Taika Waititi to do something like that. I would much rather see a flip and make him like the villain somehow and give him a really good part, because I know he could play it. And I think it would be a flip because perhaps you could fit in what he was doing in Ragnarok into this and just show that it was just some sort of a subterfuge or way to infiltrate the Asgardians, perhaps. Yeah, Christian Bale is in it also, but I've heard Christian Bale is going to be the bad guy, but I don't know. I mean, I'd love to think that somehow there'd be something that we're going to get out of this that's going to help this movie. But again, with Anzo, it's Taika Waititi, and unfortunately he has a very predictable way of doing things at times, and that's to throw comedy sometimes where it doesn't even belong. You got to bring Chris Hemsworth back as a Thor. If he's Thor in this in any way, shape, or form, you've got to redeem him in that role, or even his non-Thor character, Thor without all the armor and stuff. But no more fat Thor. Leave that out. Throw that away, please. Bring him back the way he was. Jane Austen, if you put her in this and you make her Thor, make it only because Thor is giving her the ability to be Thor to save her life, much like it was in the comic series. But as the movie goes along, find out that, yes, while it slows the cancer, it also kills her. So it's like this two double-edged razor blade. So I guess make Thor lose her at the end and give him a reason.
Oh.
What
Oh
happened?
my God, sweet justice.
Damn. Shit.
The Phantom Zone reached.
I'm not
and
used to
grabbed
being
him.
on this side of the screen.
Hey, listen, that's the internet's been stupid lately. So,
Phantom
anyways,
Zone waiting for himself.
kill, or let Jane die, and let that be the reason that Thor it gives him a reason to live again. Something that she does. I'm okay with the storyline. Just let's get through this storyline. This Jane being Thor, much like the comic book, it wasn't very popular. So play your game, get it in, get it out. I don't think Natalie Portman's going to be there for a long time anyway. So giving her the helm, letting her be Thor for long is not going to work. So let's redeem Chris Hemsworth, get him slim and thin again, what women want to see. Let's kind of try to wrap up and redeem the Thor character and the series. Because I don't know, you might get one more with Chris Hemsworth, maybe another team up movie or something else. But if you're only going to get him a couple more times, let's make it worth it. Let's fix what happened to Thor in this movie. Do I believe they're going to do that? Not really, but that's what I want to see. So we'll see. 3 more minutes for all of us.
I'm with you though. Get rid of the fat Thor. We do not need to see any more fat Thor.
He's run its course.
Yeah, they should have did it in Endgame. The minute he did the power at the end, he should have went back to regular Thor. But no, they had to ride that fat shit out.
Because that thunder strike would have been serious Kato right there. Slim.
Yeah.
It was funny for like 30 seconds, and then they should have cut it off. And like you said, Nzo, when he powered up at the end against Thanos, they should have transformed him, make him even bigger than he was, muscle-wise, and he should have been a badass. Because in the comic books, Rune King Thor was on the same power level as Thanos.
My son called it in Endgame when Thor came. When they're going to see Thor, he was like, "Watch, Thor's going to be fat. Watch, Thor's going to be fat." And I was like, "Nah, they're not going to do that." And sure enough, Thor was fat.
I know you thought Fat Thor was funny, but you're in the minority of women. Women want to see Chris Hemsworth like ripped. I mean, I maybe I'm wrong, but I just, me personally, I don't think there's anything more we can get out of Fat Thor. But again, Taika Waititi has a very predictable sort of humor, and I don't see him getting rid of Fat Thor.
I don't either.
And I see him falling back on the line of, well, we've already set up the precedents for being like this.
Right.
Listen, this movie takes place 2-3 years after the fact. Let's just say that. What, he's just gonna be around fat? They fix things for the most part. The snap's gone. Most of the people are back. Asgard's found a new place to be. It's beautiful,
I don't think Kevin Feige is going to let that fat Thor keep going because
he's not. He
can see the importance of the joke, but he ain't going to let the thing be like, okay, all right, we done had a laugh at Chris' expense. Let's go ahead and get him back, and let's get more stories. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. If he stay fat Thor for this movie, I'd be surprised. I will be shocked.
Opening scene, he's going to see these legs running. It's going to pan up, and he's going to have a 6-pack, and he's be running on a treadmill on the ship. You'll see.
Maybe that'd be great. I'd love to see it. I hope so. But I want them to write out the Lady Thor. This movie it won't take a series. I don't see Natalie Portman putting in the commitment that people like Robert Downey put in, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. These people put in time, and she's put in 2.5 movies, something like that.
I don't think there's ever been an issue about her being a committed actress or not.
I'm not saying that.
Are you talking about putting in time for getting the body and stuff? You're talking about?
No. I'm talking about committed to Marvel. She has done far too much that her and her agent are probably going to look at this as, well, yeah, let's give it to him. Let's see it. Let's do it. I could be wrong. I just think that, she spent the time on Star Wars. She said it was great while it lasted, but she was not committed to doing more. She's done Black Swan. She's done a bunch of other stuff that I think
the right
her resume.
In front of her. She'll do it.
Well, that's true. And I know they still want to do the female Avengers, and she would be right in line with that. But the character of Lady Thor was only Thor to save her from cancer.
I agree.
And as time went on, it also affected her being Thor because her body couldn't handle it because she wasn't a god. So there was this double-edged razor blade. Do we let her die from the cancer quick, or do we let her die from being Thor but staving off the cancer? I mean, so it was always that factor into it.
There've been plenty of times when I had security gigs, I'd be like, man, I ain't going out there. Then they'd be like, we paying $50 an hour, and shit, my ass be right out there.
I know. No,
So
I'm not saying it won't
I'm just
go
saying
on.
that's just a small example. So they'd be like,
And-
I don't think I want to play Thor for a third time. Well, they're gonna give you $60 million. Oh, okay. Where's Mjolnir? I'll swing this shit out of it for $60 million.
Maybe. I'm not saying that won't happen. I think that this storyline could be done in one movie and should be done in one movie. We'll find out.
A big thing I'm seeing now and I saw like people got to play. William Shatner was one, and he said they didn't know about residual income. Now these actors and actresses know about residual, so I'll be putting out every time y'all play on TNT or TBS. Guess what? Be sending me a check. So I think that'll work out.
Okay. All right, next question. It is rumored that Kathleen Kennedy will be signing an extension with Disney and Lucasfilm. Do you think that this helps or hurts Star Wars? Remove that. Who would like to go first?
All right, fuck it, I'll go.
All right. 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now, Anzo.
With the track record of Kathleen Kennedy, it's not going to be good. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to hurt Star Wars because we still got Dave Filoni and Favreau there, but it's not going to be great for Star Wars. I think that they need to get rid of her. They just need to get rid of her. When she came out and she said the Force is female, that showed us what she planned to do with Star Wars. And that was her plan. I mean, if you look at the movies, other than Solo, and please don't take this the wrong way, I'm just saying that every lead has been a female lead. You know what I mean? And I don't have an issue with that. But at the end of the day, you know, Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, stuff like that. And it's just like, what happened to the male action hero? You know what I mean? It's like he died, and it's like, okay, everything has to be female now, which again, I don't have an issue with, but we need to even it up, even the fields up, you know? And Star Wars is the type of thing where, yes, you can have a female lead. You can have a strong female lead. That's not a problem. But that doesn't have to take precedence over the story. And this is what is happening with a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies today, that the SJWs, their stories are not as good because the only thing they care about is fitting an agenda. And at the end of the day, we don't need that. You can fit your agenda in a great story. You can hide your agenda in a great story to the point where people can walk out of there and be like, holy shit, you know, what did I just see? You know, and think about it a little bit more. It's better that way than to just keep throwing it in people's face over and over and over and over again. I'll get back to Stargirl. Stargirl had agendas in it, I believe, but it was hidden in a great story. So everybody that I know that I've seen Stargirl really likes it, you know, except for maybe one or two. And that's what you got to do. Leia was a great, strong character in Star Wars and a leading character at that. You know what I mean? It wasn't thrown in your face. It was just, she was just there. And she was a badass from she came into the Star Wars franchise. So you don't need to throw agendas in people's face. And I think that's what Kathleen Kennedy's is more about than anything else. She's not about good stories, because if you listen to what she says, well, Star Wars doesn't have a backlog of stories. Really? Star Wars has a ton of stories that you can fall off of and take off of. So she doesn't care about those things. She just cares about her agenda. So at the end of the day, it's not good. It may not hurt, but it may not be great either.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I don't
All
even
right.
want to. Honestly, I didn't even want to give her the 3 minutes because she's the one that killed.
You're not required to use
No,
your 3
but she's the
minutes.
one that killed the Star Wars that we knew as growing up, right? With behind, yeah, it made money, but it also tore the Star Wars community apart, right? With the new blood and the old blood and the in betweens. Um, will it hurt it in the long run as a business person? No, because the movies did make money. If she respects what is in place now with Kevin Favreau and Dave Filoni, giving them the white slate, the clean slate for them to do what they want to do for the Star Wars franchise, which they shows that they got a lot of fans back in love with the Star Wars with what they're doing. And you obviously with the Mandalorian this year was a great success, and what they're announcing, it's bringing up a lot of curiosity. If she steps back and says, "Okay, yes, I'm the big one, I'm the big person here, but you guys proven that that the fans are happy with what you're doing. Take this and go along with it, and it's your baby in a way. But I still have the final word because she's always going to have those 2 cents, right? But I believe that if she plays it that way, it's not going to be an issue. Now, if she is going to be involved in everything, there I have a problem because everything she's been involved in, for me, compared to what I expect, my expectancies as a true Star Wars fan, was shit. And that's all I have to say about that because I don't want to give her more time.
Very well. Very well. All right, Danny, give you 3 minutes. Go right ahead. Wow. He's into it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I fucked him up. I stopped
unlike-
early. He went for a
Unlike all
snack.
that eating on the stream gave him the itis and he passed out.
Nah. I had my thing on mute, but I was listening to everything you said. The question was, will she help or hurt Star Wars whether she stays or go?
Pretty much.
If you are a numbers person, then the answer is going to be no. She won't hurt it. If you are a fan, then of course it's going to be yes, because under her tenure, and correct me if I'm wrong, this was the most divisive that I've seen Star Wars fans. I mean, you had a whole community that's dedicated. It seemed like every day they were talking about negative stuff about Star Wars and what she's doing. And I'm just like, damn, how can you have that much energy and stay in power and not on top of a woman or a man? I don't understand it. But some of these channels got to stay in power. And I mean, it's like 2 or 3 years and they still talking about things and mistakes that she done. So kudos to that, I guess. But I think if she gets a promotion, that she'll have more responsibility and maybe less time to try to have her fingers or hand in a cookie jar, which is Lucasfilm. Because if she's taking over Bob Iger, she has to worry about all that other stuff, the other Disney movies, the actual Disney, the different locations for Disneyland, Disney World, over in Japan, other countries in. So she has to worry about that. So maybe that would take less time of her focusing on Lucasfilm, because right now that's her baby. But if she gets a little bit more responsibility, then maybe it will take she had to spread her time more evenly in other areas of the company. Right now, I think the best 2 men for the job are in the positions. So it took me a long time to learn this. When I got promoted, I have several people under me now, and my supervisor said, Danny, you got to learn to delegate. So she's going to have to learn to delegate. She's going to have to find 1 or 2 people that she know that if she tells them something, or if she gives them a wide berth and let them make decisions as long as it's within the guidelines and the rules and regulations of the company, that they'll do it and they'll hit it out the park, which I think she has 2 home run sluggers now in Filoni and Favreau. So I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel with those 2. I would go ahead and give them the green light to do what they need to do. Just keep the money in in the right correct range unless it's something that you can justify and articulate why you need X amount of millions to do this. But I think this last season of Mandalorian has been a very positive turnaround. She can take credit for that, even though she may not deserve it, but she can take credit for that, and she needs to build on that and trust the process with those two individuals. And if she just keep her mouth shut, trust the process, I think she'll be all right.
All right. So, like I said, I've got people that are telling me that she will no longer be a part of Lucasfilm, but she will be with Disney. I don't know if that's true. I do know, though, that everything I've heard from multiple sources tells me she's getting some sort of a contract extension. Whether or not it continues with Lucasfilm or she gets moved up to being in charge of Disney. Either way it goes, number-wise, they're keeping her. Guaranteed. Now, if Iger understands the climate of Star Wars right now, he would see the opportunity to move her away, but still give her that little nudge and say, hey, look, you've done such a great job. We're going to put you up here with Disney. The difference is that in order to do this, you're going to have to pay attention to everything, but not clamp down in one area. So we're going to find somebody to take over Lucasfilm and just let the people in charge of Pixar, let the people in charge of Feige do their thing, and you can just kind of oversee everything. And then when stuff for Disney comes around, the cartoons, this, that, you'll have reins of that. But we want you to take this better job because of how good you've done. Spend it however you need to. Give her that job. Put Favreau or Filoni or the team of them. I think it. Honestly, we've talked about this so much. I honestly think Favreau as the head of Lucasfilm and Filoni there as the guy to formulate the stories, oversee the productions, that would work probably best, I think. But no matter what happens, she's still going to be around somewhere. Either she's going to go up or she's going to stay right where she's at. There's no doubt they're going to do that because she's a woman in a high-profile job, and she's made money doing it. They're not going to get rid of her. They're just not, because that's going to look worse for them and their bottom dollar than keeping her. If they're serious about staying on a path that's there to repair Star Wars as much as possible, they're going to move her up and move her away from it as much as they can and give it to somebody else and hope for the best there. Iger will definitely be stepping down this December. That's when Kathleen Kennedy's contract ends. I think we'll get more of a climate and an understanding of what's going on as this year goes on, depending on the shows that Star Wars puts out, Obi-Wan, some stuff like that we've heard might be happening. We'll find out very much in the next 6 to 8 months where this is going to go. You are going to start hearing things. Definitely watch Bob Chapek. If Bob Chapek is removed from his position within a few weeks of the contract change, it's hers. I don't know if they're going to do it immediately, like boom, boom. They might. But Bob Chapek and how much you hear or how much of this company he controls is going to tell you a lot. Because if Iger continues to be right there at his side like he has been, Chapek's out, I guarantee you. So 3 minutes. Let's talk about it real quick. And no matter what, she's there. She's going to be there in some capacity because of the numbers.
Yeah.
Like her, hate her.
Her big movie she's working on now is Indiana Jones 5, I believe, right?
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Because Spielberg's gone. Lucas is all
gone.
Yeah, I mean, so if she...
Lucas didn't have anything to do with Indiana 5, does he?
Who?
Does George Lucas have anything to do with 5?
No, he'll just be given credits for creation of the character. The only plus side of this is that
might be her niche, though. Star Wars not a niche, but
Well, she was
she kind of cut her
primarily.
teeth. She cut her teeth on Indiana Jones, so maybe
She did.
she'll.
I didn't hate the fourth one. It was definitely the least of the four of them. They should have never brought him back. I love Indiana Jones, but it should have ended with the Last Crusade. But according to things I've heard, Harrison Ford said this is it. He said that as far as he's under the understanding that Spielberg, when he left, had talked to him. He said he's talked to Kathleen Kennedy and Lucas, and they've all pretty much agreed this is it.
This one right here.
Yeah.
This one is it.
So Harrison
And-
Ford is doing it.
Yes, Harrison Ford will do it. And if he doesn't like it, he does kind of have the axe to say, nope, not doing it. And everything that he has said that all four of them were on the same page, that once Harrison is done, the character's gone. So I'd like to believe that. We'll find out. But again, going back to this question, Kathleen Kennedy is not going anywhere. So whatever happens, she's still there. And
I agree with you.
I think the only way you get her away from Star Wars is to move her up the ladder. I think that with the positive talk lately about things,
That's what happened.
investors and Bob Iger probably would think, okay, we know we made money, but we also heard the backlash. But we've done really well with Mandalorian, and it's kept Disney Plus going. So perhaps if we just pull her a little way away, give her that promotion, because Disney's in charge of everything. Everything's underneath Disney. So I think that's and while I don't want to see that, of the two moves that could happen, keeping her at Lucasfilm or moving her up to being in charge of Disney, listen, she'd then be in charge of the theme parks, all the tourism, all the movies, all four branches of Disney. That's a lot to worry about to just focus on Star Wars.
Like Danny
So
said,
perhaps-
delegate.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the hope I would have for it, is that it forced her to delegate it out. And then you would get Favreau and Filoni, because I almost say Lucas would then come in and say, hey, these guys are the guys. Look at what they've done. We'll see. It's still a few months away. So, all right, let's get the last question here. Why do you think things are shown in movie trailers that are not in the final film versions?
Start fucking brain fucking you.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. All right, 3 minutes is on the board. Who wants to start with this one?
I can go.
Okay, go right ahead.
I think part of why they do it is to try to entice the people and get them in there, because there's certain things that you see in there, you be like, man, I want to see that. But then when it comes to the movie and you don't pay your money, it's too late to get up and say, well, fuck. I thought I saw the Hulk slap such and such. I didn't see it in the movie. So I think a lot of it is advertising, is it's a ploy or a scheme or a trick or whatever you want to call it. It's strategy. So if you put someone there that's fantastic and glamorous and like, dog, it's going to pull the consumer more into it. If we see, like, I think the one that really comes to mind is, I think it was in the Infinity War. You saw the Hulk and the whole team in Wakanda running and stuff. And then once we got to movie, the Hulk wasn't even in the movie in Wakanda. So I think they did that stuff just to try, like I said, to entice the viewer. The trailer is more or less the cheese, and then the theater and the movie is the mouse trap. So the bigger piece of cheese they have, the more they're gonna catch the mouse, which is us. So they attract us with the cheese and stuff. Say, come on in, and then once you come in, it's too late to try and turn around because they didn't got our money. So it don't really piss me off because what they show usually is no more than a few seconds. So a few seconds of something not being absolutely correct is not going to throw me off on a big when it comes to critiquing the whole movie. So that's the main reason why they do it. The bigger, the more fantastic it is, the more spectacular it is. That's gonna whet our appetite, and we're gonna say, "Yeah, I'm going to see that, man. Did you see such such such?" So that's all it is. It's like smoke and mirrors. Let's add this in here or add this in here and kind of throw them off, but at the same time, we're gonna throw them off the real synopsis of this movie. But we also that's gonna pull them in too. Man, did you see where Thor threw the hammer and blah blah blah? So it's just a
Is
strategy.
this
It's a strategy.
is it something that you could also say is a bait and switch though? Could they ever be blamed for bait and switch?
Hey, it's clickbait. It's throwing you off the trip. It's whatever you want to call it.
But
That's
it's
smoke and mirrors.
it's consumer market though, and
Yeah.
if let's say it's like advertising that Robitussin is going to cure you of cancer. They could say it; it's going to make you go buy it.
No,
But
that's
well, I'm saying, do you equate it to that, or do you just equate
I
this to
don't
like a
equate to that.
fib?
I don't even
Just a
equate it
little
to a
fib.
fib. I
Okay.
equate it to a strategy used to entice to get you into the movie theater.
Cool.
Whether or not you because none of us, I've never heard anybody say, "Man, this ain't what they show on the thing. I saw 10 seconds of this," and get up and leave the theater. I've never seen that before.
Well,
So
also to be said is that a lot of movies, if you go back and you watch the edits that they put on DVDs and stuff, there's a lot of changes even after the fact. Goonies has 2 or 3 things that I know when I went to go see it, it's not even there anymore.
and I'm gonna
And I
say 30
can't,
seconds.
like, one of the scenes I can't even find anymore. So
I need
it's
30
like,
seconds more. They do this to protect their property too, because there's so many people, so many moving parts in making a movie, and then somebody sees something, they go out and blab. So by putting in fake stuff, it is protecting the integrity of the movie. Because
okay.
I know if I be on there, I bet, damn man, Thor's gonna slap the shit out of Hulk. If I'm working on the thing, I might come back and tell y'all, and then shit, y'all might tell somebody else, and they tell somebody else. So I'm gonna put some fake stuff in there, so it'll be like, yeah, you thought he slept shut, but he didn't. He did this. So it's kind of to protect them as well.
Okay. Very good. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay. Go ahead, Anzo. 3 minutes.
Oh, Danny, it's just to throw people off when it comes to it. But on the other hand, I understand what you're saying, Chris. It's like false advertising, right? Because if I'm watching a clip and I see Hulk beating up on Thor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait to see that scene. Then I go to the movie and it's not even in the movie. Then it's like, wait a minute, what the hell? And they actually did do that with Endgame. Endgame Infinity Wars, like Danny said, right? That scene is Hulk. It looks like Hulk's in the battle with them running in Wakanda, and it's not Hulk. Now, I understand why they did it for that scene, because they didn't want you to know that Hulk wasn't coming out, and that Bruce Banner was going to be in the Thor and the Hulkbuster costume. But at the end of the day, it is kind of like false advertising. But it's just to keep secrets. I wouldn't say to protect, like Danny said. It's to keep their secrets of what's going on in the movie, because once someone sees it, you can't protect it anymore. You know what I mean? So, but it's there to keep the secrecy. You know what I mean? It's there to like a switch and bait to make you think that this is what's happening in that scene when literally it's something else. Or sometimes they just cut the clip from the movie. You know what I mean? Sometimes they put in clips that were cut out from the movie to give you an idea to get you, but those clips aren't even in the movie. So I don't have an issue with that. I really don't, because at the end of the day, I have faith in the moviegoers to know that they're gonna put in a coherent movie, whether they take out a scene or not. Sometimes you see scenes, like if you watch the deleted scenes, and it's like, oh, they took that out. They shouldn't have took that out. Like in Endgame, they should not have took out the scene where everybody kneeled when Tony Stark passed away. I really thought that was a powerful and good scene. So, but they have the reasons for why they did it, and the reasons why is because it gets repetitive. You know what I mean? They have that, then they have the funeral scene, and they have the talk and everything. So they have to figure out which scene works better and then which one to take out. I just personally wish they would have kept that scene in there because that was really a good scene. And a lot of directors, when you watch their commentary, sometimes it hurts them to take out a scene. You know what I mean? They may have to do it because of runtime. You know, the movie runs too long and then we got to take out this one scene and it hurts them to take it out. I believe there were a few scenes in Predator 2 that were cut out and he didn't want to cut them out. But you hear that a lot. You know what I mean? You hear that a lot with movies. So at the end of the day, I just think, you know, they're just trying to keep this secretive around the plot of their movies, which is not an issue for me at all. I don't have no problems with that. So I don't think it hurts or helps the movies. But at the end of the day, they're doing it because they're trying to protect their product. So,
Okay. All right. Geisker, 3 minutes. Go right ahead.
For me, it kind of sucks, right? Because it's giving you false expectations of what you want to see, right? So it's giving you like the sus on a baby. You're just showing it to them, but then you just, you know, you stick a lemon in their mouth and then they give you that face. That's how I felt with Infinity War, right? And that scene where you see, you know, the Hulk running with the whole team against, you know, the invaders, and then you get Hulkbuster tripping up and again going with a little comedic part, right? I did not agree with it. I thought that having Hulk there would have been a lot better. But there's been a whole bunch of movies that occurs in, right? There was Star Trek, I believe it was 2009, where you know, you had the scene where Spock was born. There was a baby scene. Again, I think it's mostly the fact that runtime, yes, makes sense, but the fact that there's so many cuts and so many takes on movies, and it just goes to prove that when these trailers are thrown out there, that the movie's not quite finished yet, right? So the producers are just sitting there wondering what will work. Do they use, I don't know if there's like some way they use these commercials and reactions of people in these like seeing these commercials of what the fan base is, how they're reacting to them, in order to decide at the last minute what the final cut's really going to be. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. You know, there was also, I believe there was stuff on Rogue One as well, where you see, I think she was around the table and she says something like, "We rebel" or something.
Yeah.
And then in the movie it's about hope or something.
yeah.
There's a few
Right?
changes there, but
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly, right. So there's things like that. Would it have been better with her saying this or that? I don't know. I didn't really look into it. These are just a few of them that come to mind. Another one was a Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, right, with Iron Man. Like when you see the commercials, there were so many scenes of him swinging with Iron Man next to him, but in the movie there was none of that. The only time you got to see Iron Man come in was to talk to him fakely with the suit when he wasn't manned. It wasn't manned, and then the ferry scene, right? But there was none of this side by side. Oh, this is going to be cool. They're going to fight someone together, kind of, right? There was none of that, right? So, kind of disappointing. Another one was, I think it was one of the X-Men. They showed, I think it was First Class, or maybe no, it wasn't First Class. The one was Storm, the new Storm. That was
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
There was a scene in the commercial where it was a younger Storm walking, right? And that was, you didn't see that in the movie. Those are the only ones that come to mind.
I mean, it happens a lot. I do bring up the bait and switch thing because I do think in some sense, God, I don't want another disclaimer or anything, but man, sometimes today's consumer just doesn't get it. I mean, you should be smart enough to understand that the first thing they're doing is they're trying to get these trailers out sometimes 3, 4, 5 months before a movie is fully wrapped. So they're playing with early sketching of CGI, or perhaps they just say, "Hey, give me yesterday's, takes," and they'll go through it and find the best take out of that looks good. That's probably what happened in Rogue One. So the wording may get changed somewhere along the line. Oh, I don't like how that is. Think about the scene from I Know, from Empire Strikes Back. That they did like 30 or 40 takes of that. So God forbid, I haven't even gone back and watched the old Empire Strikes Back trailers. But like the original Star Wars trailer was just artist concepts and very few clips of the movie itself because they didn't have hardly anything shot for it. So there's some scenes where they still have the sticks they were using for lightsabers that weren't even finished yet in the original trailer. So yeah, this has been going on for a long time. But Anza's right. There are things that change. God forbid a director gets changed out and you get a total flip. Think of Justice League. Justice League was a train wreck because people saw things in the trailer and then nothing came of it, because a lot of the stuff from the a lot of the things they were showing in the trailer were stuff that Snyder did. And so there are circumstances, and as consumers we should understand that the circumstances, especially in movies, can change, and the ebb and flow of how they're shot can change, and scenes get cut. I actually have become happier to see the changes and kind of look at what was possible or what they might have done to what they did do, and did it make it better or worse, because you'll always know where that scene was supposed to go if they changed it completely. So I understand why. I think it's very tricky because some movies really take liberties with this. And I've always said that that's the hardest thing. If a trailer pulls you in and makes you want to go see the movie, ask yourself, are you watching the best parts of the movie or the only parts that are worth going and seeing it? Because that's their job as the person who directs the trailer. Because there's a separate director for that trailer. And that person's job is to get you to want to come and see it. And sometimes they will use all sorts of tricks to get you to like it. 3 minutes, let's talk about this together. It's a craft, isn't it, though?
Mm-hmm. It is.
So I mean, think about that. I mean,
because it's even like you said. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But like even like you said, sometimes, man, you see a trailer and every good part of the movie is in that trailer. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're putting, making a trailer and putting different scenes in there and fooling people, it kind of makes sense, because, man, I hate when I watch a trailer and then I go to a movie and it's like, yo, everything that was good in the trailer was only the good things about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
Case in point was the Predator. When I saw that, the last Predator, when they showed the picture of how big he was, I was like, that's going to be awesome. And that movie stunk it up. I'm like, oh, God, I can't believe it. So that's why I kind of stepped back about this Godzilla and King Kong, because in the past I've seen the previews and be like, man, that might be all right. But then when I go talk to people that seen it, they're like, nah, that's so. I like King Kong Skull Island. To me, it was worth my money. So I am hoping that King Kong, I'm King Kong. I'm hoping that he will pull that, make the movie profitable. Because I've never really been a Godzilla fan. And Rob Storm, he brought it to my attention. He said, Danny, don't get hyped about that movie, because we got hyped in the past and it hadn't panned out. So it looks good. I got fingers and toes crossed is going to be good, but I'm still kind of a little skeptical too.
And he's kind of right too, because the first two trailers looked really good, and those movies were pretty trash, to be honest with you.
The biggest trick too, Alzo. I'm sorry, Gasco. It's real quick. When you saw the crossover and Batwoman was in it, the initial crossover, I can't think of what it was called on the CW.
Crisis.
Batwoman, yeah, it wasn't Crisis. It went before Crisis.
Oh,
but anyway, Batwoman was in it, and she was fire in it. And we was like, man, Batwoman's gonna be good when they do the show. And shit, you see how that turned out. So you gotta be kind of leery with this. Gotta take it with a grain of salt.
I agree.
Like Ostinator said too, right? Wonder Woman 84. When you saw the commercials, you're like,
Oh God,
yeah, it might be good. It might be good. And then you saw the movie.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I want to cry.
Well,
I
one
do
person on the
think that-
panel loved it, so
Well, but the thing is I said though when I was watching the trailer, I'm like, it all depends on how they make this all work. And I went back and watched it again, and I'm sitting there going like, there's definitely some major flaws in that movie. While I still like the movie, it does not fit Wonder Woman. Really, it's like, yeah, she's Wonder Woman, but it's not.
But how can you like
Wonder
it after saying that though?
Woman.
How can you like
Probably
something
just
that doesn't fit
just the
major
way
category?
that the movie looks. There's things about it. Again,
Okay, so it's
I'm not
enjoyable.
saying-
It was enjoyable. The
Yeah.
yeah, I can't say it.
enjoyable. Again, it's like my opinion of The Last Jedi. I enjoyed The Last Jedi, but there's a lot of fundamental flaws there. Well, mostly because there's no context for it. I guess again, maybe if they gave us context, it would have made it a better Star Wars film. But
Like
while I enjoyed, oh, go ahead.
when I first saw the Shazam movie, I was excited. And after seeing the movie, I was like, not so much. And I'm not saying it's the worst. It's not the worst movie that DC made, but it's just not what I thought it was going to be. I'm used to Shazam being more serious than the way that Zachary Levi did it. But I'm thinking that Shazam 2 is going to be better with the infusion of The Rock and the Black Adam. I think Black Adam is going to make it more serious. It's kind of like what Nzo said about Taika Waititi. He got concerns about Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't think Shazam should be. Let me take away 75% of that goofiness when he's Shazam, and I think it would have been a more enjoyable movie for me.
Yeah, I mean, enjoyable is a very good way to put it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the little things they're doing. There are definitely parts of it that I'm sitting there going like, yeah, you know. But that's the problem with trailers. But again, going back to the craft, that's their job, is to make you go, ooh, I want to see that. And then, yeah, they don't have to worry about it. You go watch it. You watch HBO Max. You do whatever, however you go watch it, and then you're like, what the hell? Go back and look at the trailer, going like, what? Where? Why? Da-da. Well, I'm going to tell you, that guy got paid some extra money because that amount of money that movie made, because they understand that if the trailer does its job, it's going to get more money.
yeah, that's true.
That's the way of the world. Because this is one thing my daughter picks at me. I think Fiji water is actually from Fiji and it's natural and it tastes good. So I paid an extra $2-3 for it. But my youngest daughter, man, she laughs at me like, Danny, really? That ain't nothing but tap water. You paying $3 for tap water. And I don't believe it. I ain't gonna believe it till I damn hear something or see something.
You still think it comes from Fiji?
Huh?
You think it comes from Fiji?
It does.
Man, that's my favorite water, man. I love it.
Fiji water
I
does.
love it too.
It's
I
a
believe
softer
it does.
tasting water. It's a softer
There's a
tasting
diff-
water than anybody else.
Yeah,
There-
it's different.
My colleague from work had a taste test with his daughter, right? Because she was drinking this with all her friends, and he saw the price tag on it. So he's like, "Listen, he put different bottles company, and he put it on the table, and like, if you pick the one that's Fiji, I'll buy you all the Fiji water that you want." She tasted all the water, and she knew which one was Fiji, and now his ass is stuck freaking Amazon buying freaking Fiji water.
Have you ever heard of hard water and soft water, Anzo?
Yes.
Fiji is soft water. I'm telling you, I don't know how to describe it other than it has a smoother taste when it goes down.
I've tasted Fiji water, bro.
Oh, I thought you were saying you didn't agree with what I was saying.
No. I tasted Fiji water. I just didn't think it really came from Fiji.
Yeah, it does.
You would have to prove that to me, though.
But what's crazy to me, like when we first went through this crisis and we was buying water and stuff, you get like the Walmart brand, you get 40 bottles, $4. Man, it was like 20 bottles, and it was like $24. My wife was like, "Hell no, you are not bringing that water here, Danny." I said, "Jeannie, it's the only thing that left." She said, "Well, we just do it down to the truck restock because you're not paying $24 for that water." I was like, "Shit, I'll pay $24 for that water because shit, y'all be paying all the other crazy shit for that shit y'all want. So if it's something that I want, I don't mind paying extra money."
I hear you.
Enjoy that water, Danny. Enjoy it.
Hey, you laugh if you want, man. I
I'm
think it's
laughing
straight
at you,
from
but
Fiji.
I'm
No, I'm just saying, people. I think it's straight from Fiji.
I agree with you.
Well, guys, yeah, guys, Chris said it. But do you guys like? Is there any like proof to that? I'm not saying it's not.
It's
I'm just
Well,
like,
documented.
there's difference between that and like trailers because here's the thing: if it says it and it does say that it comes from a certain source, they actually had a major lawsuit back in the '80s that they had a water company, I can't remember which one it was putting
Dasani?
that it came. What
It was Dasani.
was it? Okay, yeah. Well, they were saying it came from this one source, and somebody tipped off the FDA or somebody, and they went and checked, and they were actually using straight tap water, and they got sued heavily about it. And so now, if you put that,
I think Dasani is a Coke product and Aquafina is a Pepsi, or either vice versa.
Yeah.
no, I get that. I get that. But does Fiji water actually say that it comes from Fiji?
yes,
Yeah, it's
okay,
but
okay.
here's the thing:
Okay.
the source does not necessarily mean that's where it has to get bottled. They can
Yeah, yeah.
grab it in large containers, bring it back. They can still pure, they can pasteurize or whatever they do to it, distill
Purify
it, things like that. They
Yeah,
can
just as
change
long
things
as
to
the
it.
water actually comes from Fiji. Yeah, yeah.
Google link
Exactly.
that for you.
There's a water now also, man, it's black. It looked like mud. I was like, what the hell? In fact,
A
I'm gonna buy a
water that
bottle.
looks like mud.
When you pour in your cup, it looks like dirty ass dirt water. The water is black, but it's very high in pH. I can't think of the name of it, but I went to this convenience store when I was working on my other job. When I'm gonna buy it and bring it to you and pour it in the glass, it tastes just like regular water. You can't tell it, but it looks like fucking muddy water.
And you drink it?
Yeah.
They sell it
No,
in the
I
store.
mean,
also
you
have-
have drank it.
I've drank it before. You cannot tell that it
You
is.
can look at it and tell.
They got double
I'm saying-
oxygenated water now.
The
They
bottle
got
is
all
colored.
sorts of
You
crazy
can't
stuff.
tell. But when you drinking it, it tastes just like water. But when you pour it in a glass, you be like, "What the hell is that? It look like oil or something." But it's water.
It's mud from our backyard, Nzo.
No, thank you.
And shit's expensive too. It's like $10.
Yeah.
Why, we have that here?
No,
think it's
I'm
like
just
4
picking
or
it
5
up.
bucks.
It's like
Let me
$10.
see if I can look that shit up.
Okay, I ain't never seen no water that looked like mud here. So I'm like, I don't know.
First thing I see, black water. Don't believe the hype.
But when it comes to like our food and FDA and stuff like that, like our things are a lot more strict than you guys, man, in the States.
Absolutely.
It's called
I don't know about
BLK. Look it up. This is how it
BLK?
looks.
Yeah, I just got the website.
Yeah.
That's self
All right, guys. Well, we had a great conversation. Sean, thank you for leaving the dislike. It's still a interaction. Appreciate it.
Sean who? Stackhouse?
You know which Sean it is.
Wow.
I don't know if he did or if he didn't.
He
Who cares?
didn't. He probably didn't.
I don't care.
I thought his
Sean
he said his computer was down and stuff. Something happened.
Well, he
just
has a
fucked around.
laptop also, so I don't know. And plus, he likes to troll like that. So it is what it is. Thank you for stopping by, though, Sean. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and tell everybody about yourselves one more time, and we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Geisgar. We'll start with you this time.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it all. Chaos Central is where I'm from now. OOC tonight. Next, you guys adopted me. I thank you, man. I think it's like I said, you guys are great to be around. Therapeutic for me. As crazy and dysfunctional we may be at times, but yeah, that's definitely what it is, and I appreciate every one of you. So, chat, thank you for stopping by. Hit that like, spread the word, and subscribe, man.
All right, Danny, go ahead.
Comment chat. My show's usually on Monday nights, but it's gonna be a special edition. Wasn't able to do it Monday, gonna do it Friday. It's gonna be our top 5 favorite Star Wars characters. Please don't miss it. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. Well, it'll be on my show, Comic Chat. But like I said, a great group of guys enjoying this. I think the name y'all gonna like. It's gonna be Fire. We're working on it collectively. So just tune in and expect more content from us. And we try to entertain you and spark conversations. That's what we try to do.
All right, Nzo, go ahead.
What's up, guys? You know the channel, Biggaford Entertainment, 1/4 of the Khaos Central crew. Great to be a part of this crew. We're expanding. We're doing other shows. You know what I mean? We're trying to entertain. Guys, be prepared for the OOC tonight. Think we got some fire topics going on today. Probably have a little special guest up in the house as well. You know, then we got the Khaos list, Khaos conversation, and Chris Knight show, the rule of 3, to be changed to something else to be announced. But great content that we do, man. Glad to be a part of this community. It's great, man. Peace. Great show today, Chris.
Thank you. I got some great
one
numbers.
last thing. Sorry, one last thing. Again, even though I don't know him, rest in peace, Admiral Doom.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where I was going to go.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't know you, sir. Is Admiral? What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Admiral
He
Doom.
went by Admiral Franklin Oliver, or Oliver Franklin Doom, OF Doom. So
Okay.
Admiral of Doom is what he went by.
I got
so
you.
Oliver
Well,
Franklin.
rest in peace, sir. I didn't mention you, but I want to thank you for your service in the Navy, which is a sister to. I was in the Marine Corps. From what I was told, you seem to be an awesome individual. You will be missed, and my condolences go out to your family.
Absolutely.
Dude. I'm glad to see we got some great numbers. So thank you, those of you who came by, who may have been over there watching his service. He will be missed. Go check out his channel. I will add that into the link here if I haven't already. I can't remember. I may have. And if you didn't watch the rant this past week, it's in that too. But I will make sure I do that. Go check out Elihu Who. He is the featured creator of the week here on the Real Review 3000. Make sure you go sub to him. But Oliver Franklin Doom, we're trying to get that channel up to 1,000 subscribers posthumously. Won't make a difference as far as monetization, just to show support as a community. That's what we're trying to do. He will have some uploads going up until April, from what I've been told. So you can still go over there and check him out. That's kind of something that's kind of surreal in a sense, but go support him. I'm not sure who's watching the channel anymore, if anybody, but if his wife sees it, it'll let her know that people are still thinking of him. And I will leave with the adage that I have used several times this week when concerned to him. Nobody is truly forgotten until the last person who talks about that person is dead. And if people continue to talk and pass on stories about this man, and you pass it on to somebody else, people can live forever. So make sure you talk about him. Make sure you talk about the stuff that he has done. And when I say talk about, I mean in a good way. Don't speak ill of the dead. And I've already said that piece once before. I will say it again. Speaking ill of the dead is inappropriate and not condoned here on my channel, or I'm pretty sure anybody else's channel here, and the people that I talk to. So, guys, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. And, yeah, I guess we're officially out of here. Peace.